All right, here I'm going to quickly run you through a couple key features and adjustment points of the Connect deck. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually remove the attachment from the Pro Bar and just show you the secondary attachment point, as we call it. So the Pro Bar can be attached either in the bottom hole or a rear hole, depending on the offset angle that you need. If you're, say, doing a vertical setup on like a bench top, then you're going to clamp this on upside down and you're going to move it to that bottom hole. If you're coming off of a side-by-side and you're clamped directly onto the roll cage, you need it coming out horizontally, then oftentimes it may simply remain in that rear hole. So we'll tighten that back down. And reinstall the Connect deck. Keep in mind, all of these handles have a ratcheting feature, so you can adjust them. Now, your Pro Bar extension and rotation, pretty simple. Takes about a quarter turn to loosen or tighten. Then you have your main pivot bracket. The hub and deck share the same one. You can lock it in at any angle you need. And then you've got your adjustment point for the actual platform, which is going to be able to rotate 180 degrees, slot it underneath, and lock it in where you need. So the one thing I do want to point out is that in this particular setup, if this is the direction you're wanting your platform to face, you've got your bolt cover here that we shaped as an arrow, specifically because oftentimes you're making these adjustments before you put your attachments on. So this kind of helps you just visually see, okay, this is the way I want it pointed, and you can use that as guidance if these aren't on there yet. So here, you've got 180 degrees options. Let's say that you want it pointing the opposite direction. Really simple. You're going to flip your pivot bracket, loosen up your Pro Bar, lock that in, lock that in. Now you've got 180 degrees in the opposite direction, which is why we say you effectively get 360 degrees. You just may have to make that one adjustment depending on what your original setup was. The other option here, if you don't need this deck locked in, we recommend keeping it, but you can remove the adjustable handle on the underside of the deck and bracket to where you have some resistance, but it's just going to rotate freely 360 degrees and not lock it at all. So again, if you're using this in a setup where you don't necessarily need it fixed at a certain angle, maybe you prefer that. In general, we recommend keeping it installed. That way you can lock it in and you know it's not going to move unintentionally. You can check out some of our other videos for assistance in mounting your attachments. There's lots of options here. We do provide some hardware and sell hardware and spacer kits. There's also a lot of folks that put their own custom setups on there. Maybe they want wing nuts or hand knobs underneath for quick removal, specific ARCAs, and you can always reach out to us and we can help you determine the best way to outfit your deck. So there's the basics. Hope you enjoy it, and always reach out if you have any questions.